Hi, everybody!
The system trailer for Digimon Story Time Stranger is easily one of the meatiest pieces of content we've gotten for the game since it was announced in the early portion of this year. But there was one thing that really caught my attention and I wanted to theorize on. That being the moment in the trailer where Palmon uses its vines to help with overworld traversal. This may seem like an out-of-left-field theory, but it got me wondering if there might be more instances where our Digimon will help us with traversal, and whether that might impact team composition or not. So let's break down why this might not be the case, why it might be the case, and what my opinion on the matter is during the final segment. So one reason it might impact team composition comes down to simple logic. When it comes to video game trailers, things are always shown off for a specific reason. So I very much doubt Bandai Namco would showcase this for no reason whatsoever. Sure, it does showcase that overworld traversal is going to be far more dynamic, but it also opens up the possibility for this to impact team composition, which is both a good and a bad thing. It could be a good thing as it will force players to be more deliberate in how they construct their team, ensuring they have a balanced party. However, it could also be a bad thing, since this also means player expression will be hampered. So let's discuss why it probably won't happen next, since we already have confirmation that rideable Digimon won't impact the gameplay in any meaningful way. Like I just said, we already know the ride Digimon will not impact the gameplay, at least in terms of limiting where the player can go. So you won't need a rideable Digimon of a specific type to go places. So logic dictates they won't limit how you construct your team just to access specific portions of the map, which is just a good thing when you get right down to it. This isn't like other JRPGs where a similar mechanic was introduced, which did limit where you could go based off what type you had available to you. But okay, what's my actual opinion on the matter? In my opinion, I don't think Media Vision and by extension Bandai Namco are going to implement this and limit players to having to use specific types of Digimon just to access areas of the map, because this would lead to way too many frustrating situations if you don't have the right setup. Even the Pokemon games have long since dropped this idea. At one point in time, Pokemon games literally required one of your limited party slots be taken up by one or possibly two Pokemon that were dubbed HM slaves by the community. This was mostly prominent during the very early days of that franchise, because players, simply put, did not like the concept, as it not only limited what the player could do with team composition while playing the game's story, but it was just frustrating design as a whole, since items could literally serve the same purpose. We're also long past the point where this design quirk would be tolerated in any modern game, so I really do not see this happening. I ultimately think this is just going to be a little overworld tweak that's more visual in nature and gives us the ability to traverse the game in a more dynamic manner, which, much like the ride Digimon, are meant to be a piece of fan service along with a small way of speeding up traveling in the game world. But if you've made it this far into the video, subscribe and maybe consider commenting if you would like to see this kind of old school game design return in some capacity. If you liked this video, then you absolutely must watch my video, where I broke down the most interesting aspects of the system trailer. So until next time, keep blazing that trail.